Hi everyone, Ryan here, CTO of Juicer, and we're taking a look at the Juicer Enterprise dashboard today. So the first thing you'll notice here is that you've got all sorts of different options. First of all, you've got the sidebar that allows you to do a bunch of different things, and we'll go through this page by page. Up here, you're seeing the cost of your Juicer feed, and if you scroll over, you get a little bit more detail. You'll notice there's two different numbers, and that's because the way pricing for the Juicer Enterprise account works is once an hour during the entire month, we go through and we measure the state of your account, and we just see how much it costs at that given moment. And then at the end of the month, we take an average of all those measurements, and that's what your cost is for the entirety of the month. So what that means is that you can scale up and down feeds on an hourly or even quicker basis, and you'll only pay for that portion of the month that you have the feed set to that. So say, for example, we'll take a look right here. This juicer feed has once a day updates, and it's got 7 sources, so its cost is $14 a month. But let's say we want to temporarily go ahead and update that to every minute. So now it's pulling in a lot more quickly, and it's also costing a lot more. It went from $14 a month to $700 a month. However, if we only run this for a day or even less than a day, we'll only see a corresponding increase in price that is proportional to how long during that month that we use that for. So you don't have to worry about if you go up to once a day or once a minute that you're paying that for the entire month. It's all proportional. A better way to put it would be that we prorate all the prices by the hour. So let's go ahead and turn that back down because that doesn't need to be that high. And there we go. So you'll notice that I was kind of going through the feeds here a little bit, and you get an idea of how that works. You can view each of the feeds in your enterprise account. You can automatically pull in all the posts for those. You can edit the feed, which is what I was doing, and I was changing the update frequency, but you can also change the name. And finally, you can delete the feeds as well. So this just gives you a little overview of the feed itself. You've got the name, you've got its current cost, which will be, these are all added up together, and that's what you see here. And the average cost, obviously, is the average of all the measurements throughout the entire month. And then you've got all the various sources in here. You can scroll over those and get a little greater details of what they are. And then finally here at the bottom, you've got all the users that are associated with that enterprise account. And you've got a few here, and you can add another one if you like. So if you want to invite someone to a juicer feed, you just go ahead and type their email address in there, and you click add to. So let's do a fake one here. Fake email at gmail.com. So click add to juicer. And there you go. Now they're showing up. So now this person has access to just this juicer feed. And we can go ahead and remove them for now since they're not a real one. But if they've never encountered that before, if they've never created a juicer account before, rather, it'll send them an email and send them an invite, and they can create an account. And then they'll have access to that specific feed. And if you scroll down, you'll see some have more than others. And this is because we've added and removed users from these various different feeds. You also notice you can search by feed, so if you wanted to search by juicer, you can do that, and it will, well, there a lot will show up there. Let's do a different one. Let's do error. There we go. So we can search the different feeds, and we click this. And we can always add a new feed as well. So you just click that new feed button, and it takes you to the new feed page. Enterprise account allows you to have as many feeds and with as many sources as you want, with whatever update frequency you want. And all the pricing is just based on whatever your total usage is for that month. So let's go over to the next tab here, and we'll get an idea of how the users work with this account. So as you can see here, we've got our 2 admins, which you've seen are associated with all those feeds on the other page. And then we've got this single user here that is associated with just the juicer feed. So you can tell we've got 2 different levels of users that you can have on your account. You can have admins, which means they have access to this enterprise dashboard we're on right now, and they can do everything that I can do. And then you've got users who have access only to a specific feed, and they don't have any access to the juicer enterprise dashboard itself. And up here, you can add a new admin as well. And that does the same thing as the other. It sends them an invite email if they haven't already created. And the other thing to note here is if they already have a juicer account, it'll automatically import all of their feeds onto your juicer feed. So you can remove people from feeds here, and you can remove them entirely from your enterprise account like this if you want to. The last thing to note about an admin is admins will be associated with every feed that's associated with your account. So if you create a new feed, all of your admins will automatically have access to it. And if you want any of these other normal level users, you'll have to invite them individually. So we can go over here to the Edit Account page, and that just allows you to change the name, the URL, your logo, just basic information you have set up for Juicer. And you'll have filled this all out during the sign-up process. We'll go over here, and we get a list of the API docs, and I won't go through these right now, but you get access to all of the Juicer APIs when you sign up for an enterprise account, and that should help you walk through anything you need to do there. And the last thing you can do here is you can set up white labeling. And what white labeling means is that you'd create a subdomain on your company's domain, and you could host Juicer through that. So the benefit of that is that you could have customers or clients that would use Juicer on your domain, but they wouldn't know that it was hosted by Juicer, and therefore you could charge them whatever you like. So the way you have to do that is you have to actually set up this sort of custom domain on your domain, and once you've done so, you can enter that domain in here, and you click it here, and Juicer will automatically do the rest of the work. It'll connect it all for you. And there's a few things to note when you have an enterprise account. When you have a white labeled account. Firstly, you can access the Juicer dashboard through either Juicer or through the URL that you have set up. So say it's social.company.com. You can set that up. And it's not going to work here because that's broken. Because I haven't set that up and I don't own company.com. But if you have white label set up, this screen will change and it'll give you a little bit more info. But there's a few things to note. And one thing is that when you go back here, you have the different user types. And when you have an email associated with just a single feed on your account, it will be linked through the white labeled URL as opposed to the Juicer URL. And they'll have a little bit limited functionality. They won't be able to edit the feed at all. They won't be able to add sources. They won't be able to change too many things. They won't be able to create a new feed. Really, the only thing they'll be able to do is moderate and maybe change some of the settings on the feed. So this is great for clients, give them access so they can moderate their own feeds, but you don't have to worry about them screwing anything up. You should also note that when you set up the white label URL, that you should always access your enterprise dashboard through the Juicer domain and only really give the white labeled URL to your clients or your customers, because you'll see that limited functionality there. And you'll have your own logo there, but a lot of the menu items will be limited so they don't get lost and they don't get confused about where they are. And it really sort of streamlines the process. So whenever you're doing administrative work on your enterprise account, I'd highly recommend doing it through the Juicer domain and not through the white labeled URL. And the white labeling will make quite a bit more sense once you get it set up and you can sort of test it before you give it to your clients. And that's about it. That's the majority of how the Juicer enterprise account works. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. Thanks so much.